All right, let's get into functions in Python. So functions are pretty straightforward. We're going to start over here and we're just going to say def, and that's going to be our keyword, which is going to tell us that a function is about to be declared here. So let's say we have a function called add like that, and we're going to say it has two parameters here. So we'll just say a and b like this, and then we're just going to have a colon. And then down below here, we're going to say return, and we'll say a plus b, and that will be our entire function. So then we come down here and we're just going to print out add like this, and we'll pass in, let's say 4 and 5. So we'll go 4 plus 5, and then we'll call this. Now we have to make sure we have the return keyword here. So let's run this first and show you how it comes up. So we see we get 9 over here, which is the correct answer if my math is right. And now if we take away this return, though, you'll see that we will not get anything here. And you can see we get the none here. So we have to make sure we're returning something every time from our functions. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of a function, and then everything else is just kind of an add-on to that. All right, and we can also set a default value. So if we wanted b here just to have a default of 5 like this, we can come down now and we don't actually need to pass this in. So if we go ahead and save that, come back here and run that, you can see we get the same answer. So that is one way to do that. So this is our basic syntax for functions. Let's show you a little more stuff we can do with them. So we can also come in and say, we'll just go again, def add, and we will pass in here a star and then items. Now, this is going to allow us to not label how many items we necessarily have. So here we're passing in 2 parameters. This is saying we're not actually sure how many params we're going to pass in here. And then we can do something like this where we say count equals 0. And then if we want to iterate over this, we'll say for I in items. The items right there, and then we will go count plus equals I, and then we will return here. If we go back and we'll say return, and we'll say count like this, and go ahead and save that. So we're iterating through this time. So let's run this, and you can see we get 4. So we're getting 4 because there's just one iteration right now. So let's come down here and actually pass in, let's say 4 again, we'll say 6, we'll say 7, and save this and run that again. And now you can see we're getting 21. So right here, we're adding each item onto the count each time. So it starts at 4 here and then adds each next value as we go, and we end up with 21. All right, so that looks good. Let's come down and show you one other thing before we end this, and that's going to be that we can create a Python dictionary with a double star syntax. So if we were to go like this and say def person like that, and here we're going to go double star like that and pass in the info of that person, and then again a colon, of course, and then here we're just going to return the info like this, and then here let's come down again and we'll print out, this time we'll say person like that, and then we're going to pass in different values that we want for our dictionary. So let's say first name underscore name like this, and that is going to be equal to Darwin, and then our second value is we're going to say last name, and not going to be Linux, but we'll say last name is equal to tech like that. Okay, and then if we scroll over here, let's give ourselves a little room here so we can see the whole thing. So all we're doing here is we're going to be able to pass in and create a dictionary, key value pairs, and they're going to add them, and that's what this double star is going to do. So now when we run this again, you can see, I'll just comment this out also, but you can see here we're getting a first name Darwin, last name Tech, and that's in a Python dictionary like that. Now, one other thing we can do here is if we were to come up to here, our return statement, and instead of returning info, we can actually get a certain item. So if we were to say info again, and then we passed in here, and we said we just wanted to get the first name, like that. Now this will return our first name for us. So let's run that. and you can see here we get Darwin back. So that is how functions work in Python. Hopefully that was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.